I would love for that to show us when Jamal goes for the pregame interview. Because then we could toss it. But Dewberry likes cutting me off and throwing it to Jamal. So we'll just continue to bumble F our way through that. We are.
One day you're going to get it right, Jake.
We are. But see, that's why you shorten the swear words. You don't ever fully swear on potentially hot microphone, Chrissy. Hi, everybody. There's some broadcasting hot tips for you guys. Jake Chapman, Chrissy Birdsall here with you. It's Magic Game Day once again. 2 games remain until the All-Star break. Who's counting? And we'll see the Milwaukee Bucks for both of them tonight and then Wednesday night. It's a 7:30 tip tonight. So our pregame gets going with Brandon Kravitz at 7 o'clock, our flagship station, 96.9 The Game. You can always stream us in the Central Florida area on the iHeart app or on the Orlando Magic app outside of the listening area on Sirius XM or NBA League Pass audio. Magic with a win the other night against the Utah Jazz. Not exactly inspiring. It took 33-point fourth quarter to pull out a win over a team that had sort of been assembled within the previous 24 hours. They just kind of rolled the ball out there and played. Not all of their best players played for all of the minutes. We'll just leave it at that. But a win's a win, and the Magic with 2 wins so far on this homestand. And I think you had a sense as you came off that really difficult road trip, Chrissy, in Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Brooklyn, Utah, and 2 against a Milwaukee team that won't have Giannis Antetokounmpo. A chance to kind of get right before the All-Star break. You didn't want to say you got to win all 4, but I think anything less than winning 3 out of the 4 would have felt a little bit like a disappointment. You're in position right now to set yourself up potentially to win all 4 of them. But the bottom line is you got to go out tonight, take care of business against a Milwaukee team that doesn't have Giannis, but has been playing pretty well lately. They've won 3 straight.
Absolutely, yeah. We said coming into this homestand that, yes, they needed to rattle off some wins here, build a little bit momentum. Not only us just saying that, but the players, the coaches as well. When you looked at these 4 teams, it was a really good opportunity to stack some wins with the records. But like you said, the Milwaukee Bucks have been playing a little bit better down the stretch with or without Giannis. So it's going to be interesting to see what that team is coming in tonight. But you look at those first 2 wins, able to pull away against Brooklyn on Thursday, and then Saturday, you mentioned it was a bit of an ugly win. I saw that in the comments. I believe it was Duval said Saturday was ugly. And after the game, players and coaches were talking about it, and they said it doesn't really matter what the score is or how it looks as long as you come away with a win, and then you take away what you need to take away from that game, whether it was the rebounding, closing out shooters, mitigating some of those back cuts that Utah had in that game. But it's easier to learn in a win than it is to learn in a loss, so you're not managing those frustrations on top of trying to get your process going. So I think the overall reaction was pretty positive. I think the team knows what they need to fix ahead of the next 2 games against Milwaukee, but they feel pretty good at least coming into this and a chance to rattle off 2 more before the All-Star break, Jake.
Jalen Suggs has been back for 8 games. In those 8 games, they're averaging over 24 points per game off turnovers. That's top 3 in the league. Obviously, it exploded the other night against Utah. A game against the Utah Jazz in 2025-26, you can't really take those numbers seriously. It's like inflationary. And so 24 turnovers for 39 points. I don't think we can expect that to happen too much. And, yes, that does throw your average. But you were up over 22 points heading into that game off turnovers in the 7 games since Jalen had returned. And Franz Wagner's making his return tonight. And I don't know how much we'll see him. He is, according to Jamal Mosley, on a minutes restriction, a very strict minutes restriction. So I think you're going to kind of get your feet underneath you tonight as far as Franz goes. Might come off the bench, might start. I'm not even sure about that. But Franz will be back out there tonight. And the idea, just the notion of having the crew together, your core 4 or whoever you want to call it, your baseline 5 or the 6 that you need to win a championship, whatever. The bottom line is your core is going to be together ideally tonight for the first time in 465 days. Shout out to Dan Savage for dropping that. It's been 465 days since we've been entirely healthy. Now, Wendell Carter Jr. popped up on the injury report, I understand, within the last hour. He's got a sore ankle, so maybe we won't see Wendell. But when we talk about the team not being healthy and how it's been so difficult to gain any traction really over the course of the last 2 seasons, but obviously this year, we're mainly talking about Jalen, Paolo, and Franz and the inability to get those 3 guys on the floor together. And they will be on the floor together tonight for the first time in, I guess, months. I didn't really I didn't really. It would have been Game 6, I think, the last time that we had all three of them on the floor together.
For extended minutes, at least.
For extended minutes, at least. So the bottom line is you're getting there. And I think just having Franz back on the floor, it'll be the first time he and Mo have been on the Kia Center floor together in like a calendar year. It's starting to feel like you're getting whole, and that can work wonders just for the mentality, I think, of the group.
Yeah, even Coach Mosley, Jalen Suggs saying today just how much it means to have him back, even with the minutes restriction that we don't know exactly how long it's going to be outside of it being very strict, like you had said and what Coach Mosley had said. But it has felt like...
He said it will be strict. Very strict. Like he said strict twice, so there was a lot of emphasis on how strict it was going to be. So I don't know what that means, but I don't think we're going to see him for.
I think it means it's going to be strict,
much
very strict.
more than like 15 minutes. It's going to be very, very strict. You're right, but a strict minutes restriction is one thing. A strict, very strict minutes restriction. That's a whole lot of strictness.
We will find out what that is in about an hour and a half from now or 2 hours from now. But it felt like that Franz was kind of the missing puzzle piece of this team, even as guys were starting to come back. Getting Jalen back these last couple of games has been huge. But you've talked about with them being out for 25 games, they've had a 12-13 record in that span. They're averaging about 5 points per game less than what they were when he was on the court, a couple less rebounds as well. I think just him coming back, it brings a little bit of a spark to this team on both ends of the floor. You talk about his offense and what he's been able to do for the team this year. One of the top scorers still, even with all the games that he missed out, about 22 points per game there. And, shooting numbers have been really high, 48% from the field this year. Be curious to see how he comes back and how he, gets used to the flow of the game in those first couple of games. But, the defense as well, at the end of the press conference, I believe it was Jason Beatty asked, does his defense get enough credit around the league? And Mosley said, no, it doesn't get enough credit. And then he kind of ended it there.
And then there was an awkward silence because Beatty, who is one of my favorites, and he's a great reporter, he asked a yes/no question.
Yeah.
And that is my second journalism tip of the day, is ask short, open-ended questions, people. Yes, no question. And it was a good question. But then, okay, elaborate. You could do that as well. It was the end of the press conference, so Beatty kind of let Jamal off the hook. But the point remains that Franz Wagner's defense is very much underrated. And then as Coach Mosley was walking away, I don't know if you heard him, he was dropping nuggets about exactly what he was talking about. Franz Wagner, the fact that he's 6'10" and can defend multiple positions, when you throw in a Wendell Carter Jr., who is a center but can switch out onto the perimeter, and then you throw in a Jalen Suggs, who's a bull in a china shop, but the good kind. That is the basis of a very, very good defense. Obviously, you mix in Desmond Bane and Paulo and his size, and you're really cooking with gas. But Franz is a very important element to the defense because he is your best big wing defender. And when you're talking about defensive capabilities and Coach Mosley and Dale Osborne and what they're able to draw up, that flexibility and that versatility, the ability to move laterally and stay in front of guys, but also, when you're 6'10", you just have a natural gift of making guys shoot over you. Franz brings a whole nother element defensively. And then we talk about what we have seen improvement in the last couple days, especially since Jalen's returned, crawling into the ball, playing physically, slapping at the basketball, just disrupting and being a menace on the floor and playing physically and aggressively. That's something that is in the DNA of Magic basketball. And early in the month and throughout the month of January, you started to sort of feel it slip away a little bit. I think you're getting back to that, and hopefully you're able to see that continue tonight. One of the reasons that I think you're starting to see that is Mo Wagner. And he sent a text before the game the other night. Desmond Bane told us on the walk-off that said, let's keep the juice going. And how is it that he phrased it in the post-game show? He said he changed the temperature in the room, I believe, is what he said in the post-game.
He did say also that he was bringing the juice. So I think that your Jake-isms are starting to affect the players.
Juice is not a Jake-ism. It's just an awesome word. But if he refers to himself as the Juice Baron, I'll take credit for that. But I don't think that's going to happen because it's sort of an obscure term. But no, juice is universal. And the one thing that I think everybody knows who's watched this team for a couple of years is Mo Wagner, whether or not we were 10 or 15 games below or above 500, he was bringing the juice. Mm-hmm. And a couple of years ago, there were a couple lean months here at the Kia Center where we were kind of hanging our hat on how hard Mo Wagner was playing and whose skin he was getting under. And so, diehard Magic fans owe a debt of gratitude to Mo Wagner. He got us through some lean times But he is. He is sort of the pulse of the team, and that stuff's infectious. It is no surprise and no coincidence that the Magic defense has been on another level since Jalen returned. And I'm not just talking about, solid team defense. I'm talking about smacking basketballs, diving all over the floor, playing with that burning energy and that passion, especially here on the home floor. And Mo Wagner brings that as well. That's infectious. You see your teammate do that, and you have to do that. Otherwise, you feel like you're letting them down.
Yeah, I think infectious is a really good word just because of how it spreads across the team. And Mo talks about that at the end of the game in this post game. He said that, he prides himself on being that guy that can come in and change the tone of the game with just getting a few of those energy plays, whether it's drawing a charge that we saw the other night against Brooklyn or hitting a big three like we saw against Utah, and then hitting those little goals. You heard Coach Mosley say in the third quarter that they said, okay, just get it to 10, and then we'll manage the fourth quarter from there. And Mo was a huge part of reason why they were able to come back. But that defensive energy, it's hard to bring, and once you get it, it helps your offense as well. You've heard this team say that they have to step up on defense, and it helped the offense. You talked about the turnover points that they had. They also had 15 steals in that game. Of the 24 Utah turnovers, 15 of those were Orlando Magic steals, and that's tied for the most this season outside of that Detroit game where they had 15 as well. So that's the thing. When you have these defensive bringers coming back, like Jalen, like Mo, you'll get Franz, it's going to make that defense a lot better. And I know it's been a topic of conversation in the Twitter spheres as well as all the chats that we've seen is how to get that defense up and running again. And I think a lot of it's just getting those guys healthy and having their full complement of players is going to be huge down the line.
Yeah, one other thing that I think we need to keep in mind is, we talk a lot about how the injuries sort of sapped the ability for these guys to play and grow together. We're also still the fifth youngest team in the league.
Yep.
So even when healthy, we don't have a ton of experience on the floor together because we're talking about guys in years 3, 4, and 5. We have one 30-year-old, and we just signed him on Saturday. Like, that's the nature of our team. So no matter what, you need time on the floor. You need those reps. You cannot replicate it. You can't even get practice time during the NBA season. And so, I think provided you get, 5 or 6 games where you feel like you're healthy, you'll start to see some real growth, and you'll see it in short order because hopefully that's the case because you don't have a ton of time to figure this thing out. This is going to be game number 52 tonight. 30 games after this, and out of the All-Star break, it goes quick. It is a mad dash, certainly, into the postseason.
Yeah, you talk about building that momentum though coming in, and that's what all these players were saying is that if you get the momentum going into the All-Star break, I think Mo said you go into the All-Star break and then you get your few days off, you get the time you need, but then you're excited to come back. And that's going to be the key for this team is that, you get 2 wins here. Now you have a chance to add 2 more against Milwaukee. That's going to do numbers for this team if they're able to bring both of those wins heading into that break.
All right, they're talking about the Killer Bees on the chat.
Yes.
As they are wont to do. Yeah, so Wendell Carter Jr. is listed as questionable. I'm going to guess when we go down to Coach Mosley in a minute, he is going to say something to the effect of he's going to go through his shooting slot and see how he feels. He'll be a game-time decision. And look, Wendell's been super durable this year. He's played 49 of the 51 games. So if that ankle's bugging him, right on. Goga needs some minutes, and we'll see what it looks like if we can extend Mo's minutes a little bit. I think Mo played the most he's played since his return the other night. Still just 17 minutes. So I would be anxious to know, because I am not privy to this information, what's the cap? If we don't have Wendell tonight, can you go 24 minutes if Mo's got it going? Because he's been maybe your best player the last 2 games. He's definitely been your best bench player, and you can make the argument that you don't win either of those games, specifically, certainly not the Utah game, without Mo's contributions. He has been awesome on both ends of the floor, and that's been really good to see. Unlikely Jellyfish just said, it honestly took this season for me to appreciate what exactly Mo brings. You don't know what you got until it's gone.
That is true.
So I think obviously his absence has shown, but certainly his reemergence the last 2 games. But so anyways, if we get Bataze in the starting lineup tonight, Black, Bain, Banchero, Bataze, Suggs, and Jalen's got to start. Jalen is a starter. So we'll see. Now, if Franz is in the starting lineup, then it's Boogie, right? We're going with that. Boogie, Bain, Banchero, Bataze. Maybe Coach Mosley will just indulge us and bring Jalen off the bench for a night, just so I can say Killer Bees on the Swarm and make Wu-Tang references.
So that's why you were wearing your Wu-Tang sweatshirt today.
It was a tie-in. That was a tie-in. I was mainly wearing my Wu-Tang sweatshirt today because the whole country should be canceled the day after the Super Bowl.
That is
like,
true.
I rolled
That
out
is
of bed
true.
and went to shoot around this morning, and the Wu-Tang sweatshirt was the nearest to my bed. Yeah, I think it should definitely be a full holiday. Let's see if we've been cut off yet by Coach Mosley. Nope, not yet. Right? I don't even know if we should be playing this basketball game today.
Yeah, I think
I got my margarita machine going last night. Ooh-wee.
There you go.
It was
There you
lit.
go. See, I planned it out smartly. I went out on Saturday and then used the
Oh.
Super Bowl to,
Aren't you
actually
responsible?
watch the game and enjoy the defensive struggle it was. I loved it in the beginning. I think it was Josh Robbins that asked Mosley about the Super Bowl, and he was like, "Great defense, right? Like, you love defense." And Mosley was like, "Yep." And he was going into the details of Seattle's new defensive nicknames that I didn't even know were a thing until he had mentioned it this morning.
Yeah,
But
Legion of Boom and the Dark Side.
the Dark Side's a new one.
Legion
Legion of
that's the
Boom
new
was
one.
like
Legion of Boom
2010s.
was
That was Russell Wilson
Camp
era. Yeah.
Chancellor and Richard Sherman
Yep.
and those guys. So we got a lot of Wu-Tang talk, which is great. But then the Buccaneer guy said Balin Bugs for Jalen. I might just say that tonight. Listen into the broadcast if you want to hear me call Jalen Suggs.
I mean, you could call him Bugs
Balin
Bunny.
Bugs.
It's just how like energetic he is.
Okay, it's not bad. Suggs, Bugs, sort of works.
Yeah,
I think we've got Jamal. Please tell me we have Coach Mosley.
we'll see in a few minutes.
In a few
Now we're gonna be
minutes.
talking
I mean,
about
I
Wu-Tang
can't last
Clan.
a few minutes.
Till the end of the show here, but
So,
yeah.
yeah.
We'll workshop the nicknames during the coach's interview today.
We will definitely be workshopping several nicknames. Man, see, now I'm getting who are your faves? Like, we might have to take this thing offline, Duval. By the way, we're coming back with live streams after the All-Star break. Those have not gone away. It's like kind of like the way Coach Mosley very succinctly answered those questions this morning at shoot-around. It's just it's not a good time of the year for extras. You know what I mean? So we're limping into the All-Star break just like it seems everybody across the league is. But hopefully we're able to stack a couple dubs tonight and on Wednesday against these Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to go to Cleveland, Ohio to get refreshed for the All-Star break, hang out with my parents, with my wife and daughter, and get cold for a couple days and then come back and appreciate Central Florida. What are your plans?
I'm going to Clearwater, so I'm going to the beach.
That's smart. That's what you're supposed to do. But, as Joakim Noah once pondered, he said, who vacations in Cleveland? And I do. I actually vacation in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. Get enough days where you go back, where you get the cold, and then you come back and you feel good.
Exactly. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
See,
right?
there's exactly.
I'm going to dive into my Milwaukee scouting report as we
Yeah.
went on Coach Mosley. I'm not sure exactly what's going on down in the media room, but we expect to hear the Magic head coach coming up here momentarily and might get an update on Wendell Carter Jr., but likely not. Javon Carter, I'm seeing some questions about him. Just to be clear, I don't know, I think he'll be ready to go, and then there he is.
Coach, when you have somebody like Franz, who's, at his best, such a high usage player in the offense, how do you go about reintegrating a player like that? You've had to do it several times this season without disrupting what you have going, but still, maximizing his skill set.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Dan. I think you just have to focus on, look back at what we've done when guys have been integrated back into the offense. And, we do have a sample size with this. So being able to go back and look at what we did some of the last year when he came back the first time, I think just being able to look at some of those pieces is very important to do. But then also understand how these guys are playing now with that rhythm that we try to keep it as best as possible.
We saw Wendell pop up on the injury report. How did that come about, and what's his status for tonight?
Yeah, he felt some soreness this afternoon, and he's going to go through a shooting slot and see how he pulls up after that.
You guys have had these, same team 2 games in a row before, but just what is the advantage of it having it at home?
I think it's great. You could take it from the things that you can adjust to that they've done that you do. Obviously, game 1 is very important to get done, but being at home is a great thing, in front of our fans and our crowd, the support that we get that we'll need, in games like this. But then also, looking at trying not to look too forward to the next one, but knowing the adjustments that you can and will need to make, in the game.
How you doing today, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. With Paolo available and Giannis out, Wendell out, Franz back in, any chance we could see Banchero at the 5 in any lineups? A little more open space tonight?
Well, I would love to tell you that's what we're going to do, but I'm not going to give you the game plan if it happens. You just have to wait and see.
Absolutely. How does the game plan change with, I believe Cam Thomas is available tonight after the signing. How does that kind of throw things off? You obviously have, seen him on the Nets, but not in the context of the Bucks yet.
Yeah, I think when the trades happen and guys get moved, I think it's so important to just understand personnel. We saw that the other night, against Utah. Guys get moved. You see what they're capable of doing. You got to go off of their old film, but just know tendencies, capabilities, and he fits this team and how they've been playing lately very well. Shooting the three at a high clip, guys that can just come out and get baskets. I think he fits that to a high level.
Just kind of on that with the backup center and the center rotation. What have you seen from J.I. when you've kind of thrown him in there at the backup center, and how has he kind of made his mark to get into the rotation or use his minutes?
Yeah, I think J.I., when he steps in the game, he turns into just a game changer. First and foremost on the defensive end, the way he's able to cover up mistakes, protect the rim, guard multiple positions. You see some of the block shots he has, just being able to do those activity things. But for us, because the way teams are playing now with the speed and the pace and the small lineups, you're able to switch him, and he's able to guard multiple positions.
How long does it take for a team that has played together in the past to regain its rhythm and its cohesion now that everybody is healthy?
I wish I could give you a number on that one. I don't think there's a real number. It's more of a fit and a feel. I think somebody gave the stat today that it's been 446 games since that whole lineup has been together and healthy. So I wish I could tell you that there's a number to put on it, but I don't believe there is. It's just going to come over time, and the more reps we can get on the court and the more reps we can get in the film room will be very important for this group.
Everyone good?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Junior tonight. Typically, guys don't go from good to go down to questionable, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm good to go." So I would guess not. If the ankle was bugging him 2 hours ago, it's probably gonna be bugging him after he goes through his shooting slot. But we shall see. Wendell's a tough cat, and as I mentioned, he's played all but 2 games so far this year. So if he needs a night off, then that is fine by me. Goga Batadze should be fresh. He has not had minutes recently. We've seen Jonathan Isaac, obviously, at the backup 5, and now you got Mo Wagner in there as well. You're kind of capping Mo's minutes. 17 was the most that we've seen from him since his return, but hopefully you're able, if you don't have Wendell tonight, to get a little bit bigger dose for Mo Wagner. What else jumped out to you, Chrissy Birdsall, about what you heard from Coach Mosley?
I mean, he talked about reintegration with Franz and just even all the other players that have been coming back. Keeping that rhythm is really important, especially with how well this team has played the last 2 games, getting those 2 wins. I thought some of the stuff he said about Isaac was interesting, but I went back to the back-to-back games when you're playing the same team twice in a row, and he said game 1 is important, and you make those adjustments after that, but having the support at home is really big, and I was trying to figure out, how many of these back-to-back games have we had with the same team twice? And there's been 3. You had the Boston game in the beginning of the season back in November where you won.
Split.
You split it. The first one you won, the second one you lost. Then you had the Memphis series in Berlin and London
Also
where
a split.
was a split. And then you had the Cleveland one, which was a home away. And yeah, we'll use your analysis on that one, Jake. Always wonderful as usual.
Yeah,
but
you got it.
But I think that first game being really important and trying to get that win, set the tone. You heard a lot about setting the tone and shoot around today, communication. He was talking about Milwaukee, Coach Mosley in the morning, saying that this is a team, a Giannis-less team. So there's a lot of pick and roll with how this team is moving. So trying to communicate on those moves and getting out to the shooters. And then rebounding is another big thing for this team. This was a team that picked up Miles Turner in the summer in a monumental trade where you stretched and waived Damian Lillard's contract. So there was a lot of money that goes into it. But Miles Turner is a big rebounder for this team. So it's going to be big with or without Wendell to get up on the glass and set that tone on that end as well.
Yeah, Coach Mosley mentioned the pick and roll defense a couple times this morning, and then just now Kevin Porter Jr. leading the point without Giannis. The ball is in his hands, and so it's a whole lot of pick and roll. You got to know your personnel against these guys. They've got a guy named Jericho Sims who is a roller. He doesn't shoot threes, but he can fly and catch lobs. And then they've got bigs like Turner and Portis, who are more perimeter shooters that mean screens, but they're going to pop and space the floor. Kuzma as well is a big that you need to keep an eye out for, getting his shot off from the perimeter. He's at 33% so far this year, but he's a guy that can absolutely torch you. And so, look, it's a team that's 1-3, and then they've got shooters like A.J. Green and guys whose designated role is to shoot. And they're the second-best three-point shooting team in the league. I asked Jamal, I said this morning, like, it's almost a tougher scout now without like we knew what they were about, when 34 was on the floor. Now they've got different guys who are sort of growing into their roles, and it's certainly a lot more of a know your personnel type of game tonight. And then you throw in Cam Thomas and some of the changes that happened at the trade deadline. So not quite sure what you're going to get. And then when it's a game like that, you lock in on your guys and you focus in on what it is you need to do. And that's always clear here at the Kia Center. We need to defend. We need to move the ball. And that rebounding bit is one thing we'll touch on before we go. The Milwaukee Bucks have terrible rebounding numbers for the entire season. They're 14th in defensive rebound percentage. Okay, fine, but they're 26th overall, one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the league. I think some of that is a little bit by design. I don't think Doc crashes the boards quite as much, and he's probably ideally looking not to give up points in transition. But I'm sorry, if you've got Giannis, if you've got Bobby Portis, Miles Turner, Jericho Sims, like this team has a whole bunch. Kyle Kuzma, it's got a whole bunch of functional size. They should be a better rebounding team than that. So to me, that is going to be a big key tonight. We should smack them around as far as the rebounding goes. We got smacked around as far as the rebounding goes on Saturday against the Utah Jazz. But if they play Nurkic and Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr. together, they're going to smack a lot of teams around on the glass. So I think that'll be a big key tonight. I mentioned rebounding in just about every pregame show, but against this team, based on the numbers so far this year, and of course without Giannis and some of their size on the floor, I think rebounding is something that we should dominate at tonight, and hopefully we're able to.
Yeah, and taking advantage of being bigger, I think, is always an advantage as well for the Magic. We don't know if Wendell is coming in tonight, or if it's going to be Jonathan Isaac, Gogo Pataze coming in, trying to keep that Killer Bees lineup alive as much as possible leading up into tonight's game. But
you gotta.
There's that advantage in the paint. There's that advantage on the glass, and the Magic have to take full advantage of this Milwaukee team that seems to have struggled from the glass this year, and that's going to be a big key coming into the night.
Gary Harris making his return tonight. Somebody asked if he's going to get a tribute video.
I've heard rumblings.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm. I won't confirm or deny. That's all I'll say.
All I'm going to say is that there are 3 Garys in the NBA, and 2 of them play for the Milwaukee Bucks.
There you go.
Gary Trent, Gary Harris. You know what the third one is?
No.
Gary Payton Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Say Warriors. And 2 of them are juniors. But that's my little nugget. And that's just about it. There were a few questions about Javon Carter. We talked about him a little bit on Saturday. He's defensive specialist, and he was down there a moment ago getting his shots up. Is that him? I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how soon we'll see him. There isn't exactly a hole right now. He's joining the team when we're the most healthy for the first time in a long time. But I do know Javon Carter is going to have an opportunity to play sooner than later because coming down the stretch here, a plug-and-play defensive specialist like that, he's here to serve a purpose. And if there's one thing that I know about the Orlando Magic and about guard play, there's going to be an opportunity. There will either be a game where we're not defending up to Jamal Mosley's snuff, and he throws him in there in the third quarter and says pressure somebody 94 feet and force a couple turnovers, or he'll throw him in there to change the temperature in the room, just like Mo Wagner did the other night. That's why you bring in guys like Javon Carter. So even if he catches 10 DNP CDs in his first 10 appearances, first 10 games in a Magic uniform, I would not be shocked if he played heavy minutes at some point coming down the stretch as we head towards the postseason.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a revenge game for him, too. He played his most minutes in Milwaukee, where he had his most production before he got traded off to Boston and Chicago.
That's
so
a good
keep an
point,
eye on that.
but there's 7 teams. It can't be a revenge game every time he plays one of his former teams. We're team number 8.
But if it's the most productive team, I feel like where you
the
have
most
the most
angry man in the
connections.
world. He's like, I'm going to get Chicago tonight and then New Orleans tomorrow, and wait till I see Brooklyn. All right. I can't wait for the Gary Harris tribute video. It is going to be something. That's going to do it for us. We're going to send you down to the floor. Marley is ready to go. Magic and the Milwaukee Bucks coming up. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Go Magic.
Well, thank you so much, Jake and Chrissy. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much, Jake and Chrissy, for that, and welcome to the second half hour of Magic Game Day. I am Marley Arnold, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. We have a lot of fun things planned, and just thanks for staying active on our socials right now. Whether you're watching on TikTok or Instagram, wherever you are watching from, make sure to hit that follow button to stay locked in with us for this entire season. But what's up, guys? Let's see what's going on in the chat. Who followed? Who's staying locked in this season? Let's see. I'm gonna read some comments. Win Jake, win Chrissy, yes. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. I love to see it. As you can see behind me, the boys are warming up and getting ready for tonight's game. Tonight we are going against the Milwaukee Bucks, and the energy in the building is already picking up. You can feel it, and the fans are starting to file in already as we get closer to tip-off. So let's see what's going on in the chat, but drop where you guys are watching from right now and let me know who you're most excited to see on the floor tonight. All right, I'm scrolling right now. J Perv, Marley in the building, what's up? What's up, Marley? Hello, guys. How are you guys doing today? Let's check the TikTok comments. What's going on over here? Let's go Magic. Orlando on top. Okay, I'm loving the energy in the chat, guys. This is fire. Ooh, someone said we're definitely going to win today. I love that energy. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. But guys, on Saturday, the NBA announced that Jace Richardson is going to be appearing in the dunk contest. How cool is that? Let's start talking about that because I just think it's awesome. It's for the National Basketball Association All-Star Weekend, which is coming up, guys, February 13th through the 15th, I believe. And that's in Los Angeles, California. But how awesome is that? I think it's such amazing news and exciting when Magic players are getting national recognition. So exciting. Gordy said it's a big deal. It is a big deal. It's going to be amazing. Omar Rodriguez is saying Orlando Magic. He's singing the song in the chat, and I love to see it. We're winning tonight. We're going to take the dub. Yes, good energy in the chat. Let's check YouTube. If you just now joined, welcome. Make sure to hit that follow button and stay locked in with us all season. What's up? Hello, guys. Jace is definitely going to pay tribute to his dad in the dunk contest. Yeah, it's going to be so memorable and just an iconic moment for sure. I can't wait to see how it all plays out, guys. But what's going on? Where are you guys watching from? Is anybody coming to the game tonight? Let me know, Jace, yes, Jace Richardson. Orlando is gonna win. Okay, Gio, you are really rooting for Orlando Magic in the chat, so thank you for that energy. It's me, 123. Hi, Marley. Hello, guys. How's everybody doing? Diego's in the chat, singing the song. Love to see it. I love when you guys sing the songs. Jace Richardson is him. Yes, he's awesome. Is Franz playing? Guys, I think I saw on their Instagram that Franz is going to be in tonight. Oh, it just got confirmed that is happening. So he will be in tonight. I'm excited for that. See him play with his brother maybe at the same time. That's going to be awesome. That duo, the energy, they always bring the fire. Who's excited for that? Is it in Orlando? So the dunk contest, that's in Los Angeles coming up. But right now we are in Orlando, home court, and we're going against the Bucks tonight, guys. Where is Jace? I don't know, but some of the guys are already warming up here. So who do we see behind me? Let me know if you see anyone. Let's see. Did we see Jace yet? Not sure. Carlo said Germany here. Hello. Oh, we got some people coming to the game tonight in the chat. That is awesome. Kay said, yay, let's go. Orlando versus ? We are going against the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, guys. Kevin said, play the song, run it up. Let's go. Okay. You guys are bringing the energy in the chat, and I am loving it. Toki said, I love y'all's music. You love the Orlando Magic song. I do too, and it will definitely be played tonight. That is for sure. We got Suggs out here warming up and shooting. Nos said he's here. Hello. If you guys see me, come say hi. All right, guys. So, like I was talking about with the dunk challenge, I think that that's super exciting that Jace Richardson will be doing that. But let's keep this conversation going in the chat. And while you guys do that, I think we should take a look at the best Magic performances in the dunk contest.
Let's see it. When he started up there, he started off on one side, and I think when he threw it in, though, Kenny, he was close to the other side. I think I gotta see it again. I gotta see it again.
But he's high, though. My goodness. My goodness. Do not stand under the rim when this young man going to the basket. I mean, he's jumping over a big man.
That's over. It's over.
Defends his championship.
No, that might be Alfred Payton in that mascot.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Aaron. That is the exclamation point on the contest.
Oh, my God.
Let's go home.
Yeah.
Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. That's a 50. That's a 50. That's a 60. That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
Oh my
Let's get it on.
Oh my gosh.
You win! You win, young fella! You win!
He didn't just dunk it, he threw it through. Over.
That is a 50! He took a chance and he won!
You gotta wait. Oh, you gotta wait.
Come on, man. He took a chance and he won. Hey, listen to this, man. This is a 12-foot dunk. Hold on one second.
There's no way. Are you serious?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no way. Oh my
He
goodness.
did that easy.
I guarantee you right now, there's no one else in this building that can do that.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. And listen, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 10. That is a 10. Oh, wait. Okay. That's got to be a 10, though. I mean,
It's so effortless.
oh, my goodness. Yes, indeed. Man, that was easy for him, though. The adrenaline is going now. Yes! There you go. There you go, young fella. I don't care how many times you tried that. That is a great dunk. There he is. That's a good toss. What?
It's nice.
Does Gordon have planned? Making his run. Grabs it. Whoa! Went through the legs and windmilled with a right hand. Clearing Chance the Rapper with authority. Wow.
Wait. Let me see it.
Okay. He's got tricks up his sleeve.
He's got bunny. I didn't know he had bunnies like that.
He's got dunks for days.
I didn't know he had that.
And let's see some of these best Magic performances. Alrighty, guys. So I am here with OrlandoMagic.com writer Josh Cohen, and we were talking about, Jace Richardson, going to be doing the dunk challenge, and that's awesome. We also just rolled the clip of some iconic dunks. So I had to ask you, what is your favorite dunk from like a Magic player in the past season? Which was your fave?
From an in-game dunk you're talking about? Wow, there's so many to choose from. I mean, there's been a lot of breakaway dunks. I feel like Jalen Suggs, just a couple games ago or last game, had like a 360. So anytime they do one of those on the break, those are probably my favorite.
Okay, definitely a great pick. That was very memorable, the Suggs one. I love that. But now let's get into tonight's game. I have all the questions for you, and also chat if you have any questions for Josh. Drop it in the comment section, and we'll get to it. So the Bucks are without Giannis tonight. So how do you think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have to adjust their game tonight?
Well, they're very different than the Magic in the fact that they're a great shooting team and they run heavy pick and rolls. They have a lot of smooth guards, whether it's Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., now Cam Thomas. He recently signed with Milwaukee. So figuring out coverages, that's the big key. What Milwaukee tries to do is get bigs onto their smalls. They try to use their speed and their ability to spray out for three-point shooters. They're the second best three-point shooting team in the league. But the Magic, on the other hand, are very good at running opponents off the three-point line. So contrasting styles here, that's what will make this matchup so interesting.
Okay, now that we know that, and I know you talked about it a little bit just now, but what do you think the Magic is going to have to do adjustment-wise for tonight now that we know this?
Yeah, the key with the Magic against this team is pushing the pace. Milwaukee is more of a slow-paced team. They like to kind of grind it out in the half court, run those pick and rolls. I think the biggest thing is once the Magic gets stops or force live ball turnovers, to get out and run. And that's when the Magic are at their best offensively, is when they let their defense fuel their offense. And against a team like Milwaukee, that's critical.
Yeah. And I just have to ask, who have you been most impressed with as of recently on the Magic?
I think Jalen Suggs, and it shows in a lot of the analytics. I mean, both ends of the floor, he makes such a massive impact. It seems like every game he has a positive plus-minus. And so his ability to obviously cut off passing lanes, come up with deflections, come up with steals. The Magic are 9-0 when collecting at least 12 steals, and Suggs is a huge part of that.
Well, love that insight. A lot to watch for tonight, especially how the teams respond, So I am very excited for this game. Let's check the chat real quick and see if we got any questions. Let's see. They're asking if Giannis is playing today. He is not. Ooh, who are you most excited to see in tonight's game?
Well, Franz Wagner has to be the answer to that. Coming back, obviously, from the ankle injury. We saw him in Berlin and London, but he clearly wasn't at full strength. And we know what he brings to the table. The ability to drive to the basket, playmaking when he has the ball in his hands. And then most important, like I alluded to, he is excellent in the open floor. He'll really help Orlando push the pace. And remember, his rookie season, he had his career high of 38 points. It was against Milwaukee.
Okay, well, that just got me very excited, especially for his comeback today. Thank you so much, Josh, for the insight. It's always a pleasure, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, guys, what did we think about that? That just made me so excited to see Franz out on that court tonight. I feel like it's been, but it really hasn't. I mean, it has. Missing a star like that. But I see him. He's out here warming up, guys. Yes. Let's see what's going on in those chats. Let's see. Amazing interview. So much insight. Yes. My king, Franz Denzel. I love Franz. Yes. All the energy in the chat for Franz. Franz and Mo duo. Okay. Yes, I agree with that. Super cool. When does the game start? I believe the tip-off is at 7:30 tonight. And it's on Peacock. Let's check the YouTube chat, guys. Let's see. Blake said the first time the whole team has been healthy in a while, and I love to see that. And it's going to stay that way. I love it. Kyle Gaming 70, let's get it. Let's get it. Yes. I have a feeling that tonight will be a really, really good game. And I know every time I say that, we end up winning. So let's see what happens tonight, guys. Any clue what the minute restriction for Franz will be tonight? I am not sure. I'm not sure, but I hope to see him playing for, a good amount of time. But he's already out here warming up, and I love to see it. I love to see it. Score predictions tonight? That's a good question. I'm going to leave that up to you guys, but I definitely know that we're going to win, so that's my prediction. But what do you guys think the score prediction will actually be? J Curve says he's going to be there on Wednesday. Okay, I love to see it. AJ said the Magic is taking the Bucks tonight. Guys, you know what's up in this chat. Everybody is hyping everyone up, and I'm loving this energy today. You guys are awesome. But you're probably wondering where I'm going, and I'm going to my favorite place. It's the retail store. I have something really exciting to show you guys. So let's head over there. But guys, keep dropping those comments in the chat. I am loving it today. But like I said, we're heading to the retail shop, and there's something super, super, super cool that I think you guys are gonna love. But drop where you're watching from, and let's see what's going on TikTok now. Let's see. We are taking the Bucks. Predictions tonight. Predictions are we are winning, guys. That's what I'm thinking. It's me, 1, 2, 3. Great job, Marley. Thanks, guys. You are so awesome. Let's check that YouTube. Tonight's going to be awesome. Franz is back. Yes, he is back, guys. It's going to be amazing to see. It's going to be so, so cool. So let's head over to the retail store. As you see right now, everyone's heading in. So let's go see what's in the retail store and what's new. I think that there's a lot of new items. Life channel said, let's go Magic. Yes. Himar is watching from New Jersey. I love to see it. Okay, guys. We are now in the retail shop. Oh, look at these cute hats. Those are fire. Would you guys get any of those? Which ones would you get? What I really wanted to show you guys is this. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Look at this. So, in my opinion, I think we all kind of know what Labubus are. And this is like a Labubu, but with stuff. Our mascot. Isn't this awesome, guys? Like, look at all these options. Which ones would you want? Honestly, I want unicorn. I need unicorn stuff in my life. I think that's the coolest thing ever, and you can collect all of them. When you open it, you never know what you're getting because it's a blind box. So it's like a surprise. But I think that's super, super cool. What do you guys think about that? Let's go check out the merch. Let's go. I'm going to see in the chat what you guys are saying about that, because I just think that that's super cool that we have that now. And I already got mine. I got mine today, guys. I got the dinosaur one, but I'm going to come back and get another and hope that it's unicorn. Game day special. Today we got 30% off. Okay. I also heard that if you spend, I think, $25, yep, $25, you get a cool wristband. So if you're here, head to the retail store, and there are some fire new outfits over there that we should go check out. Let's see if we can maneuver over there. It's super busy today, guys, but I love it. I love seeing this. Alrighty. Let's head over here. This is what I wanted to show you guys. I just think this collection is so nice. We got the cool sweats with the hat. I love this font. It looks so good. And then you can even get the matching hoodie to go with the sweats. Like, tell me that's not the coolest thing ever. I'm obsessed, and I definitely need this. It's so, so cool. So let's see what you guys are saying about this in the chat. What do we think? Would you guys wear this? I definitely would. Super, super cool. The Labubus are cool. They are cool. All right, let's head over here, guys. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Oh, we got these nice jerseys. This kind of looks like what I have on right now. That's fire. I love it. All right, well, I love that you guys are loving these fits in the retail shop. I think it's super nice, and we've added so many new items. So if you are here, definitely check it out. But thank you guys so much for hanging with me today. I really appreciate it. And stick around, guys, because tip-off is coming soon. My name is Marley Arnold, and it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys today. And let's go Magic. Bye, guys.
Thank you. give the people what they want, cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Courtside Countdown, presented by Hard Rock Bet. I'm your host, Kendra Douglas, and thank you so much for joining me in tonight's game. It's going to be a fun one. I know it's not on FanDuel Sports Network tonight, but it's on Peacock. But still, you got me, and like I saw Jay Curve say, we're kicking it with Kendra and getting ready for tonight's game. But you know what's even more exciting is the fact that Franz Wagner will be available for tonight's game. I'm pumped. I know everyone is pumped to have Franz Wagner back into the mix. We got to see some highlights of Franz Wagner, shall we? Oh, so Franz Wagner back in the mix. Sorry, guys. I'm looking to find y'all's comments, go through everything real quick. My bad. Franz Wagner back in the mix after missing a couple games due to that high ankle strain, as we know. And the one thing I'm excited about is to just see how he's going to be gelling with the group so far. We saw him warming up. We saw him getting ready. Guys, he was able to get a nice little fade with his mullet. The mullet has returned. The mask, of course, we know the mask isn't here yet, but still, Franz Wagner back in the mix for the Magic. Played in those 2 Europe games in Germany and London, scoring in double figures for both and averaging 16 points for those. But either way, it's the fact that he was able to help the team when he could, when he was still kind of hurt. So getting Franz Wagner back in the mix is going to be such a good opportunity for this Magic squad. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped. You see right there, he was averaging 22.2 points, 6 rebounds, a little bit more than 3 assists, and shooting 48.2% from the field. So to have Franz Wagner back in the mix is going to be an amazing opportunity for this Magic squad as they look to get these 2 wins against the Milwaukee Bucks here at the Kia Center before heading into All-Star break. So getting to some of your comments, Kendra, is that Tar Heel Blue I see? Well, Jay Curve, I'm glad you noticed, because I would also like to mention that there is going to be a Duke guy who is going to be calling this game tonight. We don't really talk about Duke people, but when we do, there is going to be one Duke guy calling this game, and I made sure to let him know that UNC beat Duke the other night. And I will let our guys know here too, but I'm glad you saw the subtle hint of how I'm wearing Carolina blue. Love that. Okay. Let's get some other comments going. Someone said, I'm excited to see the return of Gary Harris. We actually got to say hi to him and talk to him a little bit, so it is good that Gary Harris is in the mix and here for this game too, so Magic fans will be able to talk to him and see him. But overall, just a great chance that, we got to see Franz Wagner back in the mix. But before we do that, let's take a look at our highlights from this last Jazz game to see how we got here to this point. So the Magic, they're coming off their second win after beating the Utah Jazz Saturday night, overcame a 17-point deficit and defeated the Jazz 120-117. Desmond Bane netted 22 points. Mo Wagner, coming off the bench, provided a lift with 13 points, 8 rebounds. From the Jazz, it was all, Larry Markkinen and Jaren Jackson Jr. Markkinen scored a game-high 27. Jaren Jackson logged 22, but the Magic, they forced 24 turnovers, which led to 39 points, and that Desmond Bane free throw that helped out with the team. So a good performance for the Magic to really take advantage of this situation and really, continue to get a win here at the Kia Center, so that way they can go into this All-Star break finishing strong. You see it right there, the final score, 120-117. Got out rebound in this game. Those are something that you're going to talk about. The assist as well. You want to see the team facilitate a little bit better. But overall, the Magic not having to, crawl too far from behind, but still crawling from behind, but showing that they have that grit and energy as we welcome Dan Savage into the mix. As you're watching Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet, Savage says thank you so much for joining us. Yes, so we have some comments. Some people do not realize this. So the only person you're going to see that was originally from the Magic is Gary Harris. Cole Anthony was traded, so he's not going to be at this game. There are some comments asking about if they're going to see Cole Anthony. No, you won't. But you will see Gary Harris on the court. We spoke to him before the game.
We did.
And then what else we have going on over here? People are excited to see Franz Wagner be available.
I'm excited. I'm people.
You're
I am people. I am excited to see
Yes.
Franz Wagner as well. The Magic are a different team when he's out there. And obviously, it's not going to be perfect game one. But this allows the Magic to get back on track to becoming the team at their peak we know they can be.
Yeah, Franz Wagner, like I mentioned a little bit before you came here, he got to play in those 2 Europe trips in Germany and London. It was great to see him play in Germany because this was the first regular season game ever played in Germany, and that was a moment that he got to experience. And I think it's one of those things where we know that, yes, he might have re-injured or just a little nag here and there from the injury he already had, but still I don't think anyone is mad that he got to play in Germany and show his talent and everything that he's created to get to this point.
No, I talked to Magic president of basketball operations, Jeff Weltman, about it, and he was like, look, wild horses couldn't have stopped Franz Wagner from playing in that game. There was nothing he could do, and he had adrenaline pouring out of his ears. And look, as somebody who played sports and had a high ankle sprain, they're very tricky. A lot of times you think you're fine, you're feeling normal, and you go out there, you start ramping up activity, and that's when you start to feel it bothering you again. So first time in his career that he's dealing with a high ankle sprain, so no surprise it crept up on him, because Franz is the type of guy, as soon as he thinks it's physically possible to play, he will play.
Yeah.
And so that's what he tried to do, and Magic had to slow him down a little bit.
Yes.
Sit him, get it fully rested, and now I think he's well in shape to help the Magic down this stretch run.
I completely agree. Real quick, I think P is wearing some Seattle green kind of shoes today because if you guys know, P is from Seattle and the Seahawks won. I would say that those are kind of giving Seattle kind of vibes.
I think it's vibes, yeah.
I think they're giving Seattle vibes. So I wore Carolina blue. He wore Seattle vibes. I think we're all representing.
Oh, I forgot about that. You hold one over Paolo.
Yeah.
Have you given it to him? I saw you with Grant Hill.
Yes, I gave it to
rubbing
him.
it.
I made sure he knew 71 reasons and why UNC was great. I made sure that. Have not for Paolo yet. I'll let him have this moment.
We might have to flag him down at some point
1000%.
tonight.
He's got to know. Like, you have to know. You just do. But some comments coming back. Welcome back, Franz. You were missed. We know, yes, you were missed. One of the comments saying is we need to get out to another fast start like we did against the net. Feels like we're always playing from behind. I think that's something that we've talked about, this team having to not dig themselves out of a hole. But one guy who I want to talk a little bit about, too, who's really helped this team is Anthony Black. And the way that he's performed as of late, especially in that game, too. I mean, for him, he had, 21 points Saturday against the Jazz. What did you like about the way that he continues to be aggressive and continues to really help this team when it comes to assisting, facilitating, and really finding a way?
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of the highlights here, and you see Anthony Black putting himself in passing lanes, creating turnovers, and I thought the deciding factor of that game, as Jamal Mosley likes to say it, 24 turns for 39 points.
Yeah.
I mean, those are numbers that can flip a game, absolutely, and I thought that was a big reason that the Magic won that game against the Jazz. His 21 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, all a big part as well. But I really thought it was his steals, his activity in the passing lanes, him and Jalen Suggs, that helped create that win for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I agree. And then just like Jay Curve just said, another triple-double would be welcomed. Jalen Suggs having a triple-double, his first career triple-double at that against them too. Those two guys, they are just, when they get together, they're undeniable and they're hard to stop. And I love the fact that Jalen is really figuring it out because we know we've had some ups and downs so far. You know, he didn't do that well on the road, but then he also was able to bounce back against the Thunder. So it would be nice to see some consistency from him and see another triple-double.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great game against the Nets, another strong showing against the Jazz. So Jalen's the type of guy that can flip a game with his defense.
Yeah.
And, you know, him and Anthony Black back there together can create nightmares for opposing
minute.
opponents.
This man again.
Cash
A
night
little
here.
casual night tonight. Turner's turn without the suit. I like it. So, I wore Carolina blue. It looks like P is wearing like some Seattle Hawks green.
Yes.
I feel like, I still should rub it in that UNC won.
Yes. Yes. I think you should definitely. Now, are you going to pay all the fines that they ensued? A little rough there with those Carolina people.
Yes.
Hey.
Now, JT, we know on a game night, producer Tyson pretty much has you working nonstop. You have pre-game duties, post-game duties. Obviously, during the game, you barely get a break to run during halftime and grab a coffee or something. What does a Jeff Turner night look like tonight, where the game's on Peacock and you could sit back and watch?
Well, I just arrived, so that's kind of nice. An hour before game time. I can handle that. You think I could pull that off, Kendra, or just arrive an hour before the game?
I think you could, but I think there is one producer who will literally kill you.
You're probably
Okay,
right about that.
but before we let you go and enjoy the game,
Yes.
of course, the Magic playing the Bucks twice. Giannis not going to be in a factor for this, but still, what does this team need to do to get a win tonight?
I think all these games that we've got right before the break, we've seen two now where the Magic are playing teams that are below 500. I think they just have to continue to work on the things that are important to them. They're we talk about it, their standards is what they call them, right? And it's their identity. And what we've seen is they're trying to get back to that. We're a scrapping defensive team doing all those things. So, I think that's important. This is another opportunity to do that, and certainly Wednesday will be the same.
I like that. Turner's turn on an off day.
All right, I'm going for
I don't
coffee
have to
now.
pay you, though. I don't have
No,
to.
that's an off day. You don't
It's
have
an
to
off
pay me.
day.
I'm good today. See you guys.
JT,
See you,
thank
JT.
you. I love when JT comes and
I
gets
know.
to
He
chat
came
with
from
us.
the other side today.
He
Threw me
did.
off a little
He
bit. I didn't have any idea who was coming up.
No.
I know.
Let's get to some shoot-around sound, though, that happened today at shoot-around today. Let's listen in.
What worries you about the Bucks tonight?
Yeah, I think the way they're playing without Giannis, it's been a ton of pick and roll. They're shooting the ball very well. Got multiple guys that can knock shots down. But just our communication in the pick and roll is going to be huge. And then as us being able to get out to shooters and then rebounding those shots that do go up, so they're not getting those secondary opportunities.
You guys have really used this homestand to try to get back to some of the things you do well, whether it's using your defense to generate opportunities on offense. How have you felt your group has done in that regard over these two games?
Yeah, I think that the first game was very good, holding the team to 98 points, being able to sit down and guard the whole way, allowing our defense to fuel our offense. Last game against Utah, I think there was a lot of cleanup there. I think a couple of offensive rebounds. We got into an exchange and, trying to go score for score. But I think our guys understand exactly where we need to be with our defensive side of the ball. That's going to set the tone night in and night out.
Your group has used so much of this time being back home to focus on the things that you guys do well and reestablish those things. How have you felt the group has done in that regard?
I thought we've done pretty solid. There's always space to improve and whatnot, but I think just in terms of, playing the way we want to play, and having some peace about that, having confidence each night, going into our 48 minutes, how we want to do things, and then being able to hold ourselves to that standard. So I think we've done a bit better. We're having the discourse, especially between players, which is really lovely. That we're getting on the same page and all that. So really looking to close out these last two and then, carry everything we're talking about into the last 25.
And we welcome you back inside the Kia Center for Courtside Countdown, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Kendra Douglas, Savage Says. And we just want to continue to say thank you guys so much for joining us. Keep the conversation going. What are some things that you're looking forward for tonight? Who do you want to see really have a good game in this one tonight? I saw some comments about Desmond Bane. They said it was unusual to see Desmond Bane miss free throws. It was, and I know he probably is going to be like, I gotta come back stronger in this one. So I'm sure we're going to see a different Desmond Bane. Someone asked, do you think you'll see Franz come off the bench?
That's
question.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on a heavy minutes restriction tonight. Jamal
Yeah.
Mosley said that, and so with players in those situations, often they do tend to come off the bench. So I wouldn't be surprised, but we're still monitoring the health of Wendell Carter Jr., which could
Yep.
play a factor. So
Yep.
between the minutes restriction for Franz, Mo, Wendell's situation, J.I. always got to be a little iffy with his minute. There's a lot for Magic head coach Jamal Mosley to manage, so we'll see how they deploy it tonight, but very good observation there.
That is a very good observation. I like the comments that you guys are bringing in. Another comment said, the Magic are going to hit their stride come playoff time. I feel bad for whoever's going to play the Magic in the first round. I believe in this team fully healthy. I love that you said that because, I don't remember the number. But do you remember the number, the 400 number?
Yeah, so it's been 474 days exactly since the Magic had nobody on their injury report, which for like a brief hour and a half when the Magic announced Franz Wagner was available was the case until Wendell Carter Jr. got added on there with a sore ankle. So one of those situations, hopefully that streak ends today, but we have to continue to monitor Wendell's situation. I'm looking at the injury report in text to see if we got the latest. Nothing yet, but that's something we'll continue to monitor.
No, I think that's a really big emphasis and a big point that you mentioned. I think my mic died on this one. Did I turn it off? Hold on. We'll see if I turned it off by accident. But either way, I think that's a really big important emphasis that you make, is that the fact that this team has to get healthy. So I like the comments also talking about how this team has to get healthy as well. Let's see if, I might have actually, that was a user error right there. I'm sorry, guys. I think I turned off my own mic. So, yes, 472. Can we get another DB3-7 game? 30. Oh, I get it. I get it. Oh, I got J Curve, you're coming up with some great curveball. You threw me on that one. Can we get another DB3-7 game, another 37-point performance game? So I think that that's definitely in the works for the Magic and what they can do. I want to talk about, of course, let's talk about this Milwaukee squad. Let's talk about how the Milwaukee Bucks, this team, they're looking a little different. No Giannis in the mix. Figuring out their groove as well, but still they come in second in the league in 3-point field goal percentage. So this is a team that likes to shoot it from deep.
Yeah, no question about it. I was monitoring Paolo over there, who's making a little kid's dreams come true right now, doing a special, meet and greet for him. And I was going to give you the opportunity to flag him down while I talk about the Milwaukee Bucks here. When you look at this Bucks team, they have a number of guys who could fill it up and are bucket chasers. You look at it with whether it be Kyle Kuzma, Cam Thomas, etc. They have guys who will hunt their own shots. And so for the Magic tonight, you really have to pay attention in the pick and roll. This is a team that's not going to run much off-ball movement. They're going to play you straight up, straight ahead. There's not much disguise to it. So the Magic are going to have to be ready for a high-scoring output team. The Bucks have hit the 130-point plateau in 2 of their last 3, all of which have been wins. So they're a team that could score with the best of them, and the Magic have to be ready for that tonight.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. And you think about some of the guys coming off the bench. Hold on, I got to make sure. Hey, Pete, do you like my Carolina blue? I like your shoes, though. I like your shoes. But do you like? You don't? You like Magic blue? Or Duke blue? I have 71 reasons in why I like Carolina blue. Had to get that. I had to get that in.
Yes.
Because I've just been holding it. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, he didn't even hide his disdain for your outfit.
He did not hide his disdain. I wish we could have recorded that. I wish we could have gotten that one. Oh, we did. I think we did get that one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's talk about the bench too, because when we talk about production from the Bucks, we got to talk about the bench and how well they have had production as well in that one. So I want to talk about, of course, Kevin Porter and Bobby Portis. Let's talk about Bobby Portis and what he's been able to do so far for his team. The double-double.
Yeah, Bobby Portis is a guy who's had some good games against the Magic. And when you look at the course of his career, his best games come against when he's playing against teams who are lackadaisical. He is a high-energy, high-intense player. Probably all time. I've gone to the NBA Combine almost every year since 2009 with the Magic, and is still one of my all-time favorite NBA Combine interviews.
Yeah.
He was very short with his answers.
Love that.
But when I asked him, how he ranked himself in the draft, like where he saw himself, he said Bobby Portis is the best player in this draft. Bobby Portis is the next Kevin Garnett.
Oh.
And a smart team will draft Bobby Portis. Those were his responses to me, very direct, with intensity in his eyes. And he has, in a way, lived up to that, where he plays at times as if he feels he is the best player on the court and will take advantage of any laziness he sees on the opposition. So the Magic are going to have to be up in him. They're going to have to disrupt him and not let him get comfortable. He will take advantage of that for sure.
I like that. Okay. I want to get to some comments. Oh, someone said, Kendra, don't upset P5 before a game even starts. I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry. I had to. We have 3 Duke guys here in tonight's building, and I just needed to make sure they knew that at the end of the day, UNC still won this game. So it's all love. I'm
pretty sure you fired off a text to Tyus Jones, too.
1,000%. And if not, I'm going to make sure that when Dallas comes in March, we have this conversation. So let's go ahead and get some more comments. Oh, this is a good one because we do have this guy, too. Ryan Rollins has been great for the Bucks so far this year. He sure has. That's a guy that they're going to have to look into as well. When you talk about Ryan and how he's just been able to contain, and they're going to have to be able to contain him, you can see his numbers right there. Now, he's averaging more than 23 points per game over the last 4, and he's averaging career highs in points, assists, rebounds, and tied 7th in the NBA in steals. This is a guy that the Magic are definitely a KYP night. You're going to have to know your personnel when it comes to him.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins is a guy who will hunt his own shot. One of the few guys that we'll mention that'll distribute the basketball as well. So you got to really be locked into him and what he's doing in the players around him, because we're guys like Kevin Porter Jr., guys like Cam Thomas, who we'll see for the first time since joining the Bucks, come off the bench, Kyle Kuzma. Odds are they're going if they're in the pick and roll, they're putting it up.
Yeah.
Ryan Hollins is the one guy that'll keep you on your toes a little bit, even though he is traditionally a shot hunter. But they have guys that could put the ball in the basket. And so Magic having to be diligent in the pick and roll tonight, something we'll get into a little bit. But that's going to have to be a heavy focus with the guys that they have.
We've been talking so much. We've been enjoying ourselves so much. We need to get to your storylines because we're getting to that time where it's about to where we got to get off and let Peacock go in. Lead the way. So let's get to your storylines for tonight's game. What do you got for us?
Perfect tees. Number 1, guard the three-point line. Such a priority against this Bucks team. They have the 2nd best shooting percentage from downtown. They like to live outside. Don't go to the paint as often, so you have to make sure you run off the three-point line, make them take tough twos. Secondly, pick and roll communication. They don't disguise anything. They're not one of these teams with off-ball movement, doing a number of things with guys running around. They're going to line up their traditional scorers, operate in the pick and roll, and try to pick you apart. So you're going to have to operate the pick and roll differently based off the personnel, and that was something the Magic focused heavily on in shoot-around today. So it's a know-your-personnel type of night in that pick and roll. And lastly, turn turnovers into points. That's something they've done extremely well during this homestand. That's what got them that win against the Utah Jazz, coming with 24 turnovers for 39 points. You turn this Milwaukee Bucks team over tonight,
Yeah.
I have a feeling you'll get a win.
I like those storylines. I think they need to listen to everything you're saying. I'm hoping that, our show is in the locker room playing right now because because your storylines, they're really good.
We talked about that clean the glass and the
You
importance
did.
against Utah.
You did.
Could have used a little bit better effort there.
Yeah.
If you'd done that, they might have not needed such a comeback effort.
That's very true. I know you don't like to look ahead, Dan.
Yeah.
But we're going to look ahead, and let's look at the upcoming games for the Magic. So, like we mentioned, the Magic will be playing the Milwaukee Bucks twice. So tonight and then on February the 11th. Then we look forward to this West Coast road trip. Look, it's going to be our last West Coast road trip, our last long West Coast
Break out the
road
big
trip.
suitcase.
Yep, break out the big suitcase, find the coffee shops. We'll figure it out. But it's against Sacramento and Phoenix up next. Those will actually be some really good games. I love when this team plays against Sacramento. It just feels like they bring out a different vibe against that team. They knock down shots left and right, and it's always a good performance against them. It was Joel Glass's birthday the last time we were there, and we
had some double overtime outings there. It's always wild.
It is always wild, and then even in Phoenix, it's always wildest too. So those are going to be some good games, and I think when you have a healthy team like this, this is a great opportunity for this Magic squad to come out of the All-Star break and just hit the ground running.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But number one, before we get there, got to take these two against Milwaukee.
Yep.
And look, these are great playoff type scenarios. When you play the same team twice, not only do you have the in-game adjustments, but you have the game-to-game adjustments. And so what the Magic see tonight in defensive coverages, they may even see, more zoned in, tuned up things in that second outing. So great if they could take both of them and tell me guys are really locked into the game plan and that they're learning game to game.
People are excited. They're like, look, the Magic should win these games. They're hoping to see the Magic get off to a really good start tonight. You got to have a lot of more defensive intensity to guard Bobby. So, yes, that's a good quote. Right? That's a good comment right there. I think this Magic team, they know what they can do, and I think having Franz back in the mix will give them a little bit more of a spark to really take care of business tonight.
Yeah, you said it. Business. Franz is all business on both ends of the floor. Really locked in, and I think Magic head coach Jamal Mosley really happy to have his on-ball defense back, especially as a wing player. Having a 6'10" guy who knows how to navigate screens the way that Franz does is invaluable. And once he's back to his peak defensively, being able to deploy Franz, Jalen, Anthony Black, along with Jonathan Isaac in the rotation, allows you to create defensive nightmares for opponents.
It sure does. And that'll do it for us on Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. Kendra Douglas Savage says, thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight. The Magic will go and take on the Milwaukee Bucks. And at 7:30, the tip-off, you can catch the game on Peacock. And we'll be right back here in just a couple days with another Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet as the Magic go for Game 2 against the Milwaukee Bucks. But for now, we will see you later because basketballs are coming and hitting us, and we need to get out of here. So enjoy tonight's game, Magic fans.